Okay, so hopefully the other video that I recorded actually survives. Otherwise, I'll have to go back through all that stuff right here, showing you how to get the polar form and the compass directions for that question, as well as the other questions. I haven't done part B here, so let's take a look at that. We are, let's see here, -5 and -4. So we are down in quadrant 3, and we need to find the polar form. Okay, so good old Pythagorean theorem, square root 5 squared plus 4 squared gives me 25 plus 16, which is radical 41. I'm sure we can come up with a nasty decimal for that. Inverse tangent, opposite weight. Just a doggone sec. Yeah, no, we're good. 4 over 5, right? The y value over the x value. Remember, sign doesn't really matter here because I know I'm in quadrant 3, so whatever the tangent's going to tell me, I'm going to use it. So inverse tangent, 4/5, going to give me 38.7, approximately 38.7 degrees. So polar form is going to be radical 41, unless we're using a decimal. And then we've got to come from here all the way around. So we're going to take the 38.7 and add to 180 to get 218.7. 218.7 degrees, because you got to be in quadrant 3. Now in terms of compass directions, that would be radical 41 units. 38.7 degrees south of west. South of west. Okay? So hopefully you can take a look at that and see what I did in order to change it to polar form. And that's what you call your polar form. And this would be your compass direction. Okay, let's see. So 71 and 81 were my last two. Find the value of log base 8 of 7. Okay, the log of the argument over log of the old base. Taking me back to some algebra 2. Log of the argument over log of the old base. Just a little bit of, make sure you put that extra parenthesis in there, otherwise you are in trouble. And you know what? I can, so 0.936. Just to double check myself, just to make sure. We know that it equals something, so we can always rewrite it into its exponential form, 8 to the x equals 7. We know that that value has to be smaller than 1, otherwise I'd have 8 to the first, which is 8. Clearly 7 is smaller than 8. So just to double check my answer, I'm going to take 8, okay, to the answer power, and I better get 7. If I don't get 7, I'm wrong, and clearly I got 7. Yee-hee! Alright, so that worked out. 81. Identify each equation. I see one squared term. Whoops. Question 81. One squared term. If I only see one squared term, it has to be a parabola. Two squared terms, both positive, different coefficients, that's an ellipse. Two squared terms, both positive, same coefficient, that's a circle. Two squared terms, 1 plus 1 minus, that's a hyperbola. By the way, it opens to the left and to the right because the squared term is positive, which is x. Two squared terms, both positive, different coefficients, that's an ellipse. So hopefully you can identify those things rather quickly. By the way, I think that should say 5. Okay, those are the ones you asked me about. I'll try to post these videos online.